Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pits Motor Chaos. Your host, Dave. I got online a special guest, Ken Singleton from High Risk Racing Team. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. How's the weather out there?
It's good and hot today.
Now, you had a pretty darn good weekend out there at the Funny Car Chaos in Amarillo, Texas over the weekend. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we had a great time. They put on such an awesome show. The whole race was really, both of the Chaos races were really good shows. But we just showed up on Friday and never been there, and kind of had to just start and work through it, and we ended up on top.
Now, I was reading that the drivers were saying that the fans there really appreciated you guys up there.
Oh, it was it's really cool when the fans just make such a big deal that you came, and I'm the opposite. I thank them because without them we wouldn't have anywhere to race. So it's really awesome with all the kids and just the amount of people that was there, that everybody acted like they really had a good time.
Yeah, I read that when you guys were going back down the return road, the fans were really going crazy.
Yeah, and on the return road side, you got to talk to all those fans, but there was just as many people on the other fence to link the racetrack, but you didn't really get to talk to them. But they'd be yelling and screaming too. But the track was lined on both sides all the way through the shutdown.
Now, so far with two Funny Cars Chaos events, you're undefeated, huh? 6-0.
Do what?
I said so far at two Funny Car Chaos events, you're undefeated now, 6-0, correct?
Yeah, we're undefeated. Yeah, we really, I'm just really, these are the only two funny car races I've ever run. We usually run a Outlaw Altered,
right?
But I really like the funny car deal.
Yeah, did you ever think when you scrambled to get that body for a funny car before the first funny car chaos in Mocan, did you ever expect this was going to happen?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go to the race and not try to win. So, I'm always trying to win. Now, sometimes, but that's what we go for. And it's something I wanted to do for a long time. I had when I bought the car, it was a funny car, and we turned it into an altered. And I always wanted. It's kind of like one of those bucket list things, that you wanted to do, and it just turned out we got to do it, and it's really, I really like it. I mean, it's really cool.
So now, how you like going up against the nitromethane guys?
Well, that's the than an alcohol car. It's I always thought, because I run the same thing in the Altered. There's a lot of nitro cars in the Outlaw Altereds, and there's no doubt they make more power. It's just, but sometimes it's just how you finesse that power to get it down the racetrack. If you can figure it out better, then sometimes you can outdo them, even though they're making more horsepower than you're making.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Graves has a good thing going with Funny Car Chaos. I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
I honestly, I hope so. I'm 100% behind him. It's a great deal. You're getting a lot of spectators and a lot of, I think there was 17 cars at Amarillo, and I'm sure there's going to be more and more. Every race is going to end up being more.
Yeah, I think I heard next year you might even add some more tracks onto the schedule.
Right, I've heard the same thing. So, and that would be mean, it's just really a good deal. You know, all the racers were good to race, and these racetracks, right? And Mocan was the same way. They just acted so appreciative that we were even there. It's you know, I never have got that much. You know, where fans are just like that.
Right. Well, they haven't had any nitro funny cars up there in like 20 years or something like that.
Right. I don't know the exact number, but it was, I'd heard even 30 years since Nitro been there. I know that the car that I bought this car from Jackie Stidham, who was I think he's a 5-time Division 4 alcohol free car champ, and he had actually raced at Amarillo back in 80. I think he said in 85, but he was alcohol. But he said he raced there in 85. But I don't know about Nitro. I don't think Nitro had been there for a while.
Yeah, I know they used to have, all the big guys used to run up there years ago.
Well, I had a fan come up and he had told me that he had been there at the last national event and that he had never seen funny cars go as fast as we went, because they're faster now than they were back then. Right. But he was just going on about how fast they were, you know, and I was kind of blown away about that. I was like, man, you don't know how much we enjoyed just racing here, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So for you, Ken, how did it all begin for you to get into drag racing?
Do what?
I said, for you, how did it all begin for you to get into drag racing?
Well, my story's probably a little different than most people. I actually started out in boat racing. Grew up around, you know, boats, and ended up in California in 88 and 89 and kind of got hooked on drag boats, and ended up coming back to Oklahoma and got a chance to buy a drag boat and got into racing drag boats. And raced drag boats plumb up until started in 98, and I quit racing in 2012. But we raced top alcohol flat bottoms in boat racing, which has the same exact kind of motor that's in my alcohol funny car. I mean, it's the exact same motor. And that was what I really liked about the car, was it was a motor that I already knew. So, but we did well in boats. I mean, we won 3 national championships and some SDBA divisional championships, set 4 world records over about an 8-year period. So, but you know, I'd won 5 championships altogether with national championships and divisional championships. So, but something told me in 12 that I was kind of done with that, and when we quit that, it was just kind of a miracle. I had Jackie Stidham call me one day, and he's like, "Hey, you need to buy this car. You know, I don't have the money to run it anymore." And he said, I think you'd do well at it." He said, "Just make it an altered and run with them outlaw altereds." And so it worked out. We did, and that's where we got into car racing in 12, which it was 13 before we got the car put together. So that's how I got in car racing.
So now, how did you come up with the name High Risk?
Well, that was the name of the boat. The boat was High Risk. When we bought the boat I bought in, actually I bought that boat in 95. It was named High Risk, and it was just became kind of my name, you know. All the way through my boat racing career, everybody knew me as High Risk, and when we went to the car, I just said, well, we're not going to change my name. So we just called it what the boat was, and I said it just moved from water to asphalt, and actually the car I like a lot better. I raced boats for a long time, but I really, really enjoy the car, and the car is a lot harder than a boat. I would have never said that until I raced cars, but the cars are a lot more difficult to get down a racetrack than a boat.
Now, when you drove the fuel altered, what's been the quickest pass you've had with the fuel altered?
I've been we had run a 382 at 198 mile an hour.
Then with the funny car now so far, what's been the fastest?
In Mocan, it run a 392 at 190 mile an hour. So, and a lot of that depends on your racetrack, you know. But we're hoping every race. You know, I've only been 2 races with the funny car, so every race I'm trying to make it go faster. So, I think we'll be fast or faster with the funny car than we was with the altered.
Yeah, so the next event will be the July 27th weekend at Central Illinois Dragway.
I cannot make it up there. I wanted to go, and you know, Chris kind of put that in later, and we had already had some prior engagements, and I want to go bad, but there is no way that we could get there. But we will make the last Funny Car Chaos in Denton, Texas, and I probably would make it next year. It just didn't work out. I really want to go, but I just can't. It's just nearly impossible.
Yeah, that would have been a big feat for you to go all 4 Funny Car Chaoses and then go undefeated all 4 of them.
Oh, I know. I've thought about that. But you know, that's a tall order. You got a lot of fast cars, so it could be done. But you know, that would be a tough deal. I'm going to Denton to win, so hopefully that things will work out down there. And we have raced a lot at Denton. I mean, I know the Denton racetrack really well. I've run my quickest DT in the altered at Denton, so. Yeah. And we're also going to the fuel altered versus Pro Mods at the end of this month, and it's at Denton. And if nothing else, it gives me real good notes to go back for the funny car.
So now, is that the only event you have scheduled for the altered this year?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, is that the only event you have scheduled for the fuel altered?
No, we're actually leading the points in the fuel altered. We've raced at San Antonio, Thunder Valley, and Noble, Oklahoma, Denton. We raced at Denton, Texas already once. And then next weekend we raced down by Houston, Texas. I can't remember the name of that raceway. That's terrible. Can't remember the name of that racetrack down there. I've never been there before. This is our first time to go. But we're going down there and try to hold on to our points lead in the altereds. And then we'll go to the altered versus the Pro Mod shootout.
So then the shootout will be the last event for the altered this year?
No, there actually be 2 more altereds after the funny car race at Denton, like in October. And we'll finish the season with the altereds. But I like running with those guys. Those guys are great people. You know, it's kind of one of them things. You know, I really like the funny car, but I really like racing with the altereds too. So, and luckily my car, it's not a real big challenge to change it from one to the other. One evening we can have it changed over.
So now the body on the funny car, are you planning to keep it that way, or are you going to change the paint job later on?
No, well, we just got it like it is, so it'll be this way for a while. It seems like everybody really likes it, and it looks really good going down the racetrack. You know, I couldn't be happier with it. A bunch out of Carrollton, Texas, called Car Wrap City wrapped it, and they did an awesome job. Did an outstanding job.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful car.
imagine it'll be this way for a couple of years at least, and then we might talk about changing it.
Yeah, put the high risk on there.
Yeah.
So now.
Yeah, it was kind of.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say when you started out in drag racing with the halter, did you have any people that were like influential to you?
You know, in the boat deal, there was a few people. A guy named Don Ermshire was a really big name in boat racing, and you know, I ended up taking 2 championships from him in 2002 and 2003. But he was kind of an influential guy, and there was a lot of boat racers that was just really tough competitors. And then one of the guys that I always really, you know, even when in 2001, Ronnie Stidham, which was Jackie Stidham's crew chief and his brother, he came with me boat racing, and that's where I kind of learned what I know about motors and different things I learned from him. And but you know, they were still running not this funny car, but a different funny car. And I had to go to the funny car races with them, and you know, it was always like, man, I don't think I could ever do this. You know, I didn't always wanted to do it. I thought, man, this. And then I met, you know, like Jimmy Jones out of Texas. He's a really good guy, a really good friend of mine now, and a really tough.
Right. So now,
like John Force.
Yeah, John Force.
Yeah, I'm a Force nut.
So for you, Ken, what was the experience like getting out of boat racing and getting in you know, the altered for the first time behind the wheel?
Say one more time. I didn't understand you.
No, I said for you, how was the experience for you to get out of boat racing and get behind the wheel of the altered for the first time?
Well, you know, it was anytime you make a change like that is not. I mean, it's definitely gonna have you a little nervous. Other than in a boat, you know, it was a capsule boat, so you were in a really tight compartment in that boat. You know, everybody was kind of worried about that. They're like, you know, you're pretty bound up in a funny car chassis. And I was like, well, you haven't seen bound up until you drive a drag boat. But you know, the one thing that did amaze me about a car is a drag boat, even as hard as it accelerates, it doesn't accelerate anything like a car. A car, when it takes off, there's just no slippage. It just goes. And actually, the first time in a drag boat, I kind of leaned forward off the seat, like holding on to the steering wheel. And I did that same thing in a car, and the first time it took off, it actually hurt my back because it slammed you to the seat, you know. And I learned real quick that's not a cool deal. You need to be sitting flat against the seat, or it's gonna slam you back. But that's the biggest thing I noticed different is just the way they accelerate. The car just it accelerates a lot harder than a boat.
So now, what about the first time doing the funny car? How was that for you?
You know, I honestly, I just love the funny car. You can see out of this car, it's a Monte Carlo body, and it has virtually no doghouse behind the blower, and so you have a lot of windshield, so you can see where you're going. It's more than a boat. I mean, a boat, you really can't see where you're going in a boat. But in this funny car, I can see almost as good as I can with the altered. So, you know, when you shut the body down, it's like you're in your own little world. It reminded me of the capsule of a boat because with all the aluminum, when you shut the body down, you can't see the motor anymore, and you can't really hear the exhaust like you could before, and it's just cool. and I'm just stayed up with it. It's just a dream come true for me, kind of deal.
So now, what kind of engine you got under the hood of the car?
What kind of what?
What kind of engine you got under the hood?
Oh, it's got a 521 cubic inch Brad Anderson stage 10 head, blower shop 1471 high hex blower.
Yeah, it's injected alcohol, right?
Yeah, we actually run a M5, which is alcohol with something in it. I don't even know for sure. I can't get out of VP what's in it, but we've been running it for a couple years. But it's a lot like alcohol. It just stinks worse than alcohol.
Now, do you ever plan on going in the nitro in the future at all?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm kicking it out. I mean, I think that we got some things to accomplish with an alcohol motor, but I'm never going to rule it out. You know, we might figure out how to swap it over one of these days. Probably wouldn't happen in the next couple of years, but I'm planning on doing this for a while, so you never know what's down the road.
So is your family involved in the drag racing?
Is who?
Your family, they involved with you in the drag racing?
Oh, well, drag racing's a big family deal for me. You know, my brother is my crew chief. He's really my best friend, and we don't do hardly anything without each other. And actually, he just left as we were working on the car tonight, trying to get it ready for next weekend. And him and his wife is who backs me up. He's kind of my crew chief. My wife is who takes all the notes and does that. And even my kids are grown, but my kids still go. And it's always been a big deal. I mean, everybody in my family practically is at the drag strip before racing.
So how many crew members do you have total? You got your brother, your wife.
I got too many crew members. I got 9, but they're all important to me. You know, I got David Dennis is out of Dallas, Texas, and Larry Bowie, he's out of Wiley, Texas. And you know, they come up and David does everything that Boyd tells him to do. And then I have a partner in the car too. His name's Bob Raber. He lives down in Wiley too. But you know, it takes all of them, and we all have a good time. It's all just, you know, if it wasn't fun, we wouldn't do it. So, and we're all good friends and have known each other a long time. They all came from boat racing too. We're just all a bunch of old boat racers that figured out how to do it on asphalt.
Nice. So now, do you have any sponsors currently?
No, I don't have any sponsors. Not that I wouldn't take them. I just don't currently have any really sponsors other than just me and Bob Raber. We pretty much fund it out of our own pocket. And I haven't really went after it either. I need to try to come up with a few for the funny car for sure. But I'm willing. Anybody's willing to jump on a winning car, I mean, I'm your guy.
Yeah, there you go. He's undefeated 6-0 right now. There you go.
That's right.
So now, since you've been doing the 2 Funny Car Cares, since you ran the 2 Funny Car Cares events so far, have you got any advice from any of the other funny car drivers?
No, not really. You know, I've had a good time meeting the drivers I've met. You know, what's crazy is I didn't know any of them. You know, none of the funny car drivers I knew at all. It's like Lyle Greenberg. You know, I run him in the finals and got to meet him a couple times. And then, is it Jordan Ballou?
Yeah, the young...
Really good people. Got to talk. I had to run him at Mocan and at Amarillo first round. But they're really, really good people. Got to talk to him, and then Nick Polson. See, he's an altered racer, so I knew Nick. And then at Mocan, I run Fred Farndon.
Yeah.
And, I'd never met Fred. He's a good guy. And who's the guy running the semis? I'll think of it here in a minute. He's a good guy. But anyway, met a lot of nice people. I'm just real bad with names. But
yeah, you got Dave Galijos and the Nitro Clown.
Yes. I talked to him several times. He's a good guy. Yeah, great guy. And then we met the Little City Cuda. You know, them, and Troy Buff was tuning that car, I think, and Troy was over there, and I'd kind of met Troy before with Jackie Stidham because he was a Division 4 dragster guy back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, and we got to talk to Troy a little bit, and he wanted to know who my car was. he wanted to know where I got it, and he was kind of surprised when I told him Stidham. Because he knew Stidham well, you know. He said, well, that makes sense. That's why it's a good car. This car won 2 or 3 Division 4 championships. And then it sat for a long time. I mean, it sat for probably 4 or 5 years. But it won, I think the last time it won was in 06 or 07. It won a Division 4 championship.
So now you being from Texas, you probably already know Andy Mears, right?
Well, I'm kind of funny about talking to drivers because everybody's got their own way, you know. But like Stidham, I mean, we don't live very far apart. I talk to him a lot. I mean, we talk almost every week about race cars and driving and tune-ups and just trying to figure out how to make it go faster.
Then, of course, you got John Hill from Texas.
Right, yeah. I don't know John, but I know who he is. But I've never actually met him.
Oh, you didn't?
But I know who John Hill is.
I'm surprised you didn't talk to him out there at the track over the weekend.
No, I never did. Never did talk to him. I met Mike Newkirk. They're good people. You know, they were parked right next to me, and his is an alcohol funny car. But and then who owns Still Crazy? Do you know?
Cunningham.
Yeah. See, I talked to him, but most of it was before rounds or after the round, you know. But it seemed like really good. I mean, everybody was nice, you know. Everybody's really, really professional and you know, just out having a good time.
Then you got Mike.
That's what it's all about.
You got Mike with that little Hombre car.
Yes. I met him too, but I didn't really talk to him much. I just got to meet him. But I mean, all of them are great people.
Then you had Ray Stringer out there with the blown scentless nitro car.
Right. And see, I didn't get to meet the Dragon Slayer. Isn't that the name of that one car?
Yeah,
I didn't really get to meet him. I shook his hand.
Yeah,
but I didn't ever really get to meet him.
Yeah, it's Andy Mears from Texas. Yeah. Then you had what's his name? Chris Morrell with the little green Cuda.
Yeah, that was the Little City Cuda. Yeah. That was I got to meet them guys and the owner. Actually, my brother talked to him more than me, but they came over several times and talked.
And what was he doing? The other, what's his name? I can't. I just interviewed him like last week. He had alcohol car out there. The Made in America car.
Yes, now see, I never met him. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I've seen the car, but I never did meet him.
Yeah, his name slips my mind right now.
Yeah, he's had a big Rocky Mountain Supercharger sticker on the back of that car. And I'm Facebook friends with them guys, but I don't really know any of them that run that circuit.
So tell me this, Ken. When you get ready for a weekend of drag racing, what goes into preparation for you to get that car ready?
Before we get to the track.
Yeah.
Oh, last week was a rough week. We had run it at Thunder Valley the weekend before Amarillo, and luckily because Memorial Day we wasn't working Memorial Day, so we worked all day Monday, and we went totally through the car. I mean, the motor came completely apart. The only thing left in the block was the crank and the cam, and went through the complete transmission. Took the third member out of the rear end, looked it over. I mean, we didn't leave nothing unturned, and it literally took us all week. Every night we would start about 6 in the evening and stop at midnight, and then on Thursday night we wasn't done, and we had to work late. Me and my brother both had to work late Thursday night, so we didn't even get started till like 9 o'clock Thursday night. And we finally got it fired up at midnight. And then by the time we had it loaded in the trailer, it was 2:30 in the morning. And at 7 we left to go to Amarillo. So we had a real short week last week. But it was all worth it after we won it. But we hadn't went through the heads in 2 races, so anytime you have to rebuild the heads, it's 2 evenings to do the heads. So, we Monday it was really take it apart and do all the transmission, put the transmission back in it, put the rear end back in it, but that left putting the pistons in it and rebuilding the heads. We did that Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then Thursday night it was just buttoning it up, finishing, trying to get it ready to start it, and then loading everything in the trailer to go.
So now, Ken, what are some of your favorite tracks to run on?
Well, my favorite, and I won't run the funny car there, but I like Ardmore, Oklahoma, that little racetrack down there. I really like Denton. As far as the track surface, Denton is probably the best track surface we run on. But as far as the biggest crowd I've ever run in front of, Amarillo's the biggest crowd. I mean, they really pack the place. I raced at Tulsa a couple years ago, which Tulsa always packs a really, really big crowd. And we run an altered up there with Southwest Superchargers. We went up there with them. Tulsa's a really, really nice place to race, but it just don't ever seem like we have the opportunity to race there. But as far as the racetrack, it's an awesome racetrack. But it's a toss-up between Denton's one of my favorite tracks, because it's not very far from my house, and it's really, really fast racetrack. But, it's just hard to... And Mocan is not that... comparably, it's a lot worse racetrack. It's still a good racetrack, I guess. It's just older. But the crowd is like crazy at Mocan and Amarillo. I mean, it's... worthwhile is just truly excited to be there.
Right. So now, do you only do 8th mile racing, or you do quarter mile as well?
No, we just 8th mile race. I'd love to do the quarter mile one of these days, but car's not set up to do that. It's just set up to run 8th mile.
So now, where do you get all your safety stuff from?
A variety, but most of it's from DJ Safety or Simpson. My fire suit's all helmet sensing, parachutes are DJ safety, the bucket under the engine's DJ safety, seat belts are DJ safety.
So what kind of tires are you running your car on?
Hoosier. Hoosiers on the front and back.
So now, what would you consider to be some of the milestones of your racing career?
Well, the first time I broke the world record was in 2002. It hadn't been broke.
I can't hear you, Ken.
2002.
There you are.
I set the world record in a boat, the lapse time record, and it hadn't been broke in over 10 years. So that was a huge thing. You know, that was one of my first big milestones, was to do that. And then when I won my first championship in a boat, that was a big deal. And then with the Altereds, the first year we placed 7th in the points, and last year we were placed 4th in the points. But and this year we're leading the points. So I'm hoping to set another milestone. You know, that's my goal, is to set a new one. So whether it's with a funny car or with an Alter, either one. But you know, it's just like the funny car deal. It'd be awesome to win Denton. You know, if you could win 3 of them, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So now, have you had any accidents or near accidents in your racing career?
Accident?
Yeah, accidents or near accidents in your racing career. Have you had any?
Well, in boats, I had some near accidents, but I was always very fortunate. I never did crash a boat. Actually had a couple friends get really hurt in a boat and had one of them die in a boat. Wow. But I was always, and that's one reason I quit, is I thought I've done everything you can do. The only thing you can not do is, that you haven't done, is crash. So I thought, well, it's a good time to quit, because I don't want to crash.
Right.
And in the car, I've run over a center cone a couple times, but that's about the closest I've ever come to in a car. Been fortunate, really, in my life. I praise God for that. Without Him, probably wouldn't be that way, but I've always been pretty fortunate when it comes to racing. I've never been hurt.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you some fun questions here. Ken, you ready?
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
No, not really. I just work. I work, and that's about it. I just do that so I got money to drag race.
All right. So in the few altered, in the few altered division, do you have a greatest competitor?
Yeah. One of my goals is to outrun Jimmy Jones, and I haven't got that done yet. If I can beat him, that's one of my goals.
Now, throughout your racing career, have you won any trophies?
Oh, I got a whole room of them from both. I also have several from the Alter too, but with both, I have 13 national event trophies.
Nice. So, if you were able to do time traveling, Ken, and go back in time, would you do anything differently?
No, I wouldn't change things. It's all been great.
Now, if you ever have vacation time for you and the wife, do you have a favorite vacation spot to go to?
Say that again.
I said, if you and your wife ever have time to take a vacation, do you have a favorite vacation spot to go to?
Oh, yeah. And that doesn't have a thing to do with racing, but we do go to Colorado, do a little side-by-side riding up in the mountains. That's kind of a hobby of ours we do. I guess I do that. That's something I do, is I have a side-by-side that we mostly use it on the farm, but every now and then we'll take it on vacation.
Now, if someone were to give you $200 million and ask you to build a brand new drag race track, where would you think about building a new drag race track, and what kind of features would you want to put into this track?
Oh man. I don't know. That's I'd have to think about that. You know, I would maybe build something in Central Oklahoma. I mean, there's a lot of drag racing people here, especially now with the street outlaws and all that. You know, there's drag racing's really growing in Oklahoma. But I don't know. You know, one thing about it is I'm not a owner. I don't even dream about it. I just want to race. Never really wanted to own one of the places. I just want to race there.
All right. So, what's your favorite food to eat?
My favorite food?
Favorite food to
Barbecue.
eat? Barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you get any of John Hill's barbecue sauce at least when you were out there?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know it was there. I'd read something on Facebook yesterday about that it was really good. I wished I had it because I'm actually a barbecue connoisseur. I love to eat barbecue and even all barbecue. I'm actually not partial really to one barbecue versus another. And all of it tastes different. I just like the way barbecue tastes.
Right. So, what's your favorite beverage to drink?
Oh, I'm a Diet Dr. Pepper guy.
Now, do you drink alcohol at all?
Oh, not very often. I do a little bit, especially if we win. I might drink beer, but that's about it. I don't get too carried away.
All right. So, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie? Oh. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV. You can ask my wife. I'm usually in the shop. I mean, every night I get home, I'm either down here for an hour or two every night. I'm here now.
What's your?
I really don't have a favorite movie as far as well, I don't know. You know, I always like Star Wars and
there you go.
As far as movies,
Star Wars. So what's your favorite music?
Oh, I like a variety as long as it's a little older. You know, I grew up in the '80s, and I like '80s bands, but I'm pretty big on 38 Special and Foreigner, and then I like Pink Floyd. I mean, I like a variety, but kind of from that era, you know.
Yeah, but
and I like AC/DC, and I like some of the new stuff. You know, I like Breaking Benjamin, but I'm really partial to the older stuff.
Yeah, your favorite's classic rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Ken, I want to thank you very much for your time for doing an interview today.
Oh, you bet, man.
Now, you have any final words for the people listening in?
Oh, I just having a great time, and we'll keep trying to win, and appreciate everybody that comes out and watches. Really, it's a big deal to me, especially the kids, you know.
And they could go on High Risk Racing page on Facebook and see where you're going to be at, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can look us up on Facebook, High Risk Racing. Keep up with us.
Sounds good. Well, thanks again, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the racing season, Ken.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.